Welcome to 2 cents short of a dollar, the show where we give our 2 cents and keep it 100. We're your host. That's Mo Tiz. I'm Rue. Today, thinking about some college basketball. We had some big college basketball news. Overall, it was a huge year for college basketball. But Bronny James, son of NBA great LeBron James, right? So he declared for the NBA draft, and of course, it's ruffled the feathers of everyone in the world, whatever, who watches sports. No matter what that kid does, everyone's going to talk about it. But this, I do think, is a very relevant topic because due to the cardiac arrest situation, I think he missed several games. I don't think his freshman year was a wow freshman year. So seeing him declare for the draft, I think a lot of people were assuming he was going to go back to college and try to, have a full year playing. But he's not going to do that. He's going to declare for the draft. And, just based on his freshman year of college, my question is, do you think Bronny James is a pro right now?
Absolutely not. The fact that he can declare for the draft and potentially still get drafted just speaks to LeBron James' influence to the league, right? The NBA. And we know that, that's why his name is kind of out there. Even on a high school level, and where he was ranked, there was a lot more talented players, but of course, he does have that influence from the masses to kind of propel his name up, if I'm just being honest. But I don't think his game shouts out pro level. But then again, how do you define pro level, right? I mean, there are players that are not necessarily even getting playing time. They're coming off the bench. They're just practice dummies, right? So maybe if you compare him to those type of players, you can argue he probably should be in the league, right? But in terms of just making an immediate impact on any NBA team, I would say no.
Okay. But so I think he's like 6'3", 6'4". They're listing him as 6'4", but I think
he's like 6'2", 6'3". Yeah.
Yeah. So he plays guard, but I guess he's kind of like an off guard. So I guess my question is, I just think it's gonna be tough based on, averaging 4.8 points a game, right? 2 and some change rebounds, 2 and some change assists. I don't want to dwell on that because he can go to the combine and kill it, right? And people are like, okay, we got one. But I think what really stands out to me is even missing games, like when you're just on another level, you can see it, a la Kyrie Irving at Duke, right? Kyrie missed a bunch of games due to injury, but every time you see him step on the court, you're like, whoa, he's head and shoulders better than everybody on the other side. You know what I mean? So like you just kind of.
And how much did he average in those 15 games he played?
Who Kai?
Yeah.
I don't remember per se, but
it was significantly more than what Bronny James is averaging. You know what I mean?
That is correct. But even if you took the numbers away, just the eye test when you watched Kai, right?
Yeah.
Like you just okay, and I'm not sure we got that from Bronny James. So I mean, but I think I don't know all the intricacies of NCAA and NBA draft, but I know there's a period where you can enter the draft. And I guess if you don't have representation by an agent, whatever, then you can technically go back to NCAA.
Yeah,
right?
and activate. And I think he also mentioned that he's going to go to the transfer portal. So he'll be transferring out of USC if he decides he's going to go back. So.
Okay. This transfer portal thing is kind of crazy these days.
Yeah, they treat it like the NBA. You know how the NBA just be trading folks, so people, taking that option to, go to another team.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, because I'm not even gonna lie, the biggest story at USC this year was Juju, like for in women's basketball. Wow, that's a freshman where I'm like, that person's ready for the league right now. You know what I'm saying?
NBA ready. 50+ point game, being the youngest to have that many points in a regular season. It's she's breaking records. Yeah, she the truth.
Yeah, but on Bronny's behalf, I guess you can kind of go to the combine, test it out, see where your athleticism rank, you know what I'm saying? Like just kind of feel it out. And if you be like, you know what, I'm not performing maybe how I think I should, but cut all of that out, right? You like you said, LeBron James influence. Do we think teams are gonna draft Bronny just to say I'm trying to have a year or two luring LeBron, right? I don't know how much more years LeBron has under contract. But I know he said a goal of his is to play with his son before he retires, right? Obviously, LeBron's still playing at a very high level for his age, right? But can he squeeze out another 2-3 years? Maybe not at 25-point game level, maybe. You know what I mean? But is that worth it? If I'm I don't know, who's a bottom tier team? If I'm let's say
Detroit.
Detroit, or if I'm the Wizards, do I draft Well, I mean, nah, he's not gonna go that high. So it's gonna have to be one of the teams probably outside of the lottery, right?
Mhm.
But if I'm any team, do I say, okay, let me draft Bronny James in hopes of luring LeBron here for a year or two? Maybe not necessarily to win a championship, but sell out arenas.
Yeah,
LeBron's farewell
ticket
tour.
sales. Yeah, yeah. I know LeBron did also mention he would be okay with even competing against Bronny James as well.
Mm.
At least him being on the same floor as Bronny would definitely bring a smile on his face, and it's something that he's definitely trying to aim for.
I mean, it'll be fire to see, but uh is it disrespectful to all the talent out there that doesn't make the league? I don't think people really realize how much talent is out there that does not make the NBA league because it's such a hard league to make. So drafting someone, let's say Bronny is drafted in hopes of luring LeBron, right? Is that crazy to all the athletes that go out there and don't make it each year?
Yeah, of course, but it's been happening, right? There's a sprinkle of nepotism in the league, and we
Yeah.
see it happen time and time again. And I won't say, Austin Rivers, because Austin Rivers deserved to be in the league. Well, I know there's some platforms that say, oh, well, what about Austin Rivers? Nah, they deserved to make it to the league, based off their merits alone. But I think in this case, yeah, I absolutely agree. I do think, it is kind of a spin in the face to some of the extremely talented players that's playing overseas, or may not even necessarily get, that's in the G League and they're trying to get into the league. And then you got this kid, because he's the son of, one of the best players in our generation,
Mhm.
because of that influence now, it's unfair, just blatantly unfair
Yeah.
if you look at it. But, that's just the political game, you know.
And, yeah, and I think it's just tough too because at 6'3", 6'4", right, at a guard like that, I mean, he's not Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
I'm saying he's not Donovan Mitchell, but I know he's a very good perimeter defender. I think his offensive game can be brushed up some. I know he works out with, I think, Gilbert Arenas in the offseason or something like that. So doesn't necessarily mean everything's gonna rub off, right? But when you see him, looks like he has a decent jump shot, athleticism, quick ball handling. So there's probably obviously there's some level of talent there, right? Can he
Mhm.
polish it and put it together? But I mean, you have pros out there like I'm thinking of short guards who maybe aren't amazing scorers. I guess like a Avery Bradley. Remember Avery Bradley? He was a decent pro.
Yeah, yeah. He has some
Yeah,
grit, good
yeah,
defensive tenacity. But then also you got to think about Bronny's health too, how much of a liability he's going to be. So it's a
yeah.
lot of unanswered questions.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I guess we kind of got to just see the way it plays out. I would love to see him go back to college, do his thing, put on, transfer, go where you want to go, put on, and then go into the draft. Like, all right, I had a full year. You guys really saw what I'm made of. Maybe I'm a lottery pick or something like that. So that's just my opinion, but definitely want to hear what you guys got to say in the comments. Is Bronny James a pro right now? Have you seen enough to say, okay, this guy is a pro deserving of, being drafted in NBA to play pro basketball, especially on the account of, I remember a couple years ago when Brian, maybe we can find this clip where Braun was like, he tweeted out, I forgot what game he's watching, but he's like, man, Bronny better than some of these dudes in the league right now. Like
Mhm.
a few years, you know what I'm saying? So with all that being said, hop in the comment section. Do you think Bronny's a pro right now? Make sure you like and subscribe.